Wild swimming is something that divides opinion. To some, the idea of swimming in rivers, lakes, or the sea without supervision seems unusual, but many reaffirm the benefits. The simple, low-cost hobby has had a recent spike in popularity due to motivational speaker Wim Hof's attribution of health benefits to cold water exposure. Wim Hof is a Dutch extreme athlete, nicknamed Iceman, whose extensive training has enabled him to control his breathing, blood circulation and heart rate, gaining him the ability to withstand extreme temperatures. Hof markets a practice called the Wim Hof method, which involves willpower, exposure to cold water and breathing techniques. He claims that it reduces symptoms of various diseases and benefits mental well-being. The COVID lockdown also encouraged people to try the activity due to swimming pool closures and travel restrictions. Many studies have been conducted on the physical and mental health benefits of the activity. However, it is often the subject of news stories where it's presented as a high-risk pastime. The dangers of the sport are clearly apparent, but many clubs and societies believe that with full recognition of the risks, the benefits of the sport are invaluable. Bristol University hosts a wild swimming society that partakes in the sport weekly. The members enthusiastically swear by the value of swimming for a uni student.
So last year it wasn't as regular as this. One of my the things I wanted to do this year was make it every week, so that everyone who kind of does feel the benefits had this knowing that you could come on a Sunday. I think Sundays are kind of the best day to do something like this. Like everyone's kind of at a loose end of what you do on a Sunday, and it's nice to have this kind of holistic well-being thing to do.
This year we're doing it every single Sunday. And I think I've just gotten to know like a lot more people this year compared to last year when like if I couldn't get a friend to get the bus to me I just like wouldn't come, and like this time like I just come every week because like I know enough people here now that there's always like people to talk to.
We have 4 different places around Bristol, so here and then the 3 others are rivers, kind of as far away as Bath, and most people get the bus, which is also kind of a whole part of, I mean, it's so much more than the actual kind of swim, like time-wise. So kind of the bus journey there, they're always very beautiful and scenic. So I think that's kind of setting you up for when you get there and then you swim and then we go to the pub afterwards. So it's ended up being my escape from the city. So it gets kind of drawn out because as soon as I go back, it feels like it's back to like normal life.
I would definitely say that it definitely calms me down. It's harder to tell in the long term, I'm sure it does, but I know that every Sunday, right after I've done it for the rest of the day, I'm much more content than any other day of the week.
I'm always in a really good mood afterwards, like for the rest of the day, and it makes me really sleepy, but in a nice way.
So I didn't swim in my first year of uni. I mean, first year anyways is just pretty stressful and a pretty of a kind of weird time, but I definitely did have kind of fewer grounding influences than that. And I just think, I mean, for me personally, the nature connection is just massive, and just being, I definitely find in the sea kind of having that sense of space and like seeing the horizon and just having nothing else around is hugely impacts kind of my mental health. And then the feeling that you get afterwards is just unbeatable. I think it's addictive. I don't think I could ever let go of that.
I think the escapism aspect is really the best part, and I love the space and just feeling completely kind of detached from busy working life.
It is a bit mad and feels kind of, it does take a fair amount of mental strength to make yourself do that when it feels so uncomfortable. Like it's the opposite of kind of being cozy and warm and like in your bed. So I think the kind of the personal impacts of pushing yourself outside of a comfort zone, like almost like a biological comfort zone, definitely helps me feel like I can do other things like that in my life.
Whilst it is not a cure, cold water therapy has been proven to alleviate the symptoms of depression and anxiety. One case study by the medical trade journal BMJ magazine followed a woman suffering from anxiety and depression who took up wild swimming. She subsequently experienced a decrease in symptoms to the point where she was able to stop taking medication. One theory behind the alleviation of anxiety is that the stress the body experiences when entering cold water prepares the body for the next time it experiences similar emotional stress. In other words, you experience cross-adaptation, where your adaptation to one stressor impacts your response to another. Research shows that people who are more in touch with nature are generally happier and report feeling their lives are more worthwhile. At its core, this is based on the biophilia hypothesis, the idea that humans are attracted to nature. As a result, our mental health is thought to benefit more from clean, greener areas with a greater variety of natural features.
The next one is at Beezes, which is like a river, and then we go between this, that, and then there's another river called Salford, which is like halfway to Bath, and then Whalley Weir, which is like in Bath in the countryside, and we just like go between those four, and then every so often we do like trips further away, like to Wales and stuff, but it's mainly those four. I really like Beezes where we went because there's like a little ramp made of stone that's like underwater, so you have to like, you stand on it and then you start slipping in, and I really like it because you have to start swimming right away, so there's no like wading in and like freaking out and being like, oh, I can't be bothered to get like my hair wet or whatever, because you have to get in right away, and I really like that. And in summer there's like little ducklings and stuff, which is really cute.
I don't know, I feel like when I can't explain it in words the feeling that you get afterwards, but it's just unbelievable. It's fantastic. I'd say you have to try it at least once. Some people do try it, and I don't understand these people, but don't like it, having tried it.
I was literally in for like 1 minute, and then after a minute I gave up. I feel like really like refreshed, so I was quite like lethargic and tired this morning because I went out drinking last night, so it's like really like woken me up, and I feel a lot more refreshed.
Bring lots of layers and put your head under, because it feels a bit gross and like sometimes the water looks a bit like brown, but if you don't like swallow it or lick your lips, then it's fine.
There are many dangers swimming, some of which can be particularly severe. Before swimming, it is important to consider factors such as the current. You should expect a depletion in energy levels beyond your anticipation due to the cold temperature. It's easy to underestimate the current and your ability to fight against it under such circumstances. Cold shock is also particularly important to bear in mind. This is the involuntary gasp, inhalation reflex, and rise in heart rate that occurs when an unacclimatized body enters the water. This can result in swallowing water, which could lead to drowning or disease. As a result, it is advised not to jump in. Ensure you test the temperature of the water, as at lower temperatures you should not be staying in past a minute per degree to avoid risk of hypothermia.
I think if you just appreciate like the slowness of it, that's what makes it nice, because you're not just like rushing to a swimming pool, having like a slot for an hour and then going home. Like, you're making a whole day of it, and that just like makes it like more special because you put more effort in. Compared to like other societies I've been to, like a lot of people just go on their own and just like start talking to people like in the water or at the pub, and it's like not a weird thing or a big deal. Because we have to like get in like a queue, because there's normally like only one spot where you can get in. It's always just kind of like a bit peer pressury, but in a nice way to get in.
It's really nice to get the bus with everyone, go to the pub with everyone after. I used to just come for the swim and then leave, but now I'm much more drawn into the socialising part of it too.
Everyone is sometimes like hyperventilating, but like, and then you'll be swimming around for 5 minutes and then someone will be like, it's not as cold now, and then like everyone will be like laughing because it's really cold, but you just kind of like ignore it. And I think there is like a group mentality.
Coming to the pub afterwards and spending time with everyone, having all done this one thing together, I think is fantastic. Like, I think if you just went to the pub on a Sunday and you hadn't done a swim, it wouldn't be the same. There's just this kind of holistic aspect of us all being here, being in the countryside, swimming. But I mean, it's invaluable to my weekly, monthly mental health.
Every time I see a river